I feel like we often forget that Magic the Gathering isn't just an incredibly popular trading card game, but it's also the first trading card game, as it literally invented the genre, and it's had an immeasurable impact on the world of tabletop gaming. But that was all in the 90s. Now, 30 years later, I think it's fair to ask the question, has Magic held up well, or is it just a relic of outdated game design with an overblown legacy? Well, today, we're gonna find out. This is Magic the Gathering. In Magic the Gathering, both players start with 20 life, and the goal is to reduce your opponent's life to 0. To accomplish this, you have a variety of different types of spells. There's creatures to attack with, instants and sorceries to get one-time effects, artifacts and enchantments that give you static effects, and much, much more. To cast anything, though, you'll have to have mana. Mana is primarily generated through lands. You can tap a land to generate 1 mana of its corresponding color. Each turn, you can only play 1 new land, so you'll have to build your deck wisely to account for all stages of the game. Another unique aspect of Magic is its combat. Unlike other TCGs, you can't choose to attack your opponent's creatures. Instead, you'll attack the opponent directly, then they'll choose which, if any, of their creatures they want to block with. Another of Magic's signature features is the amount of interaction you have with your opponents. You can cast instants and activate abilities during your opponent's turns, and in order to succeed at Magic, you have to determine the best strategy for interrupting your opponent's turn while minimizing the damage they do on yours.
Now take this!
Counterspell. Now, of course, this is just a broad overview of some of Magic's mechanics, but there's so much more to deep dive into if you wanna. It can be a difficult game to master, but it's pretty simple to learn. In most cases, reading the card really does explain the card, and if there's a rule or mechanic that you're confused by, there's tons of online resources to help you out.
You guys want to see my retirement plan? Yeah, that's right. 20 years from now, this is gonna be worth a whole $2.
So I think it's safe to say Magic the Gathering is worth playing, but how is it for collectors? Well, just like every trading card game, the most important thing in collectability is the artwork. And I'm happy to say that this is the category where Magic most excels. Magic still has some of the best artwork I've ever seen in a TCG. I mean, many of these cards seem like they'd fit better in an art gallery than a booster pack. But outside of its fantastic art, what has Magic done to cater towards its collectors? Well, for most of its history, the answer is not much. Yes, you had your standard foils and your promos, but there were really no chase pieces outside of rare instances. However, in recent years, Wizards has been making a constant effort to fix that. Nowadays, there's a ridiculous number of different card treatments. Of course, you have your normal promos and foils, but you also have extended borders, halo foils, borderless, foil etched, bonus sheets, anime art, and a different booster fun treatment for each plane. And some cards have even more variants. Elishnorn Mother of Machines had 12 different treatments all in the same set. Now, there's an argument to be made that Magic's gone slightly, a little more than slightly overboard with these, but I still see them as a positive. Even if you have no interest in collector's treatments, the fact that these exist makes the standard versions of these cards much more affordable. And the sheer amount of these means that you can find some fantastic looking cards for insanely cheap. But just how easy is it to start getting into Magic? Magic is one of the most popular TCGs on this planet. You can find it on Amazon, in every big box store, and in local game stores worldwide. Heck, you can even find it in your local pharmacy if you know where to look.
There's the birth control aisle.
If you're looking for somewhere to play, there are literally thousands of game stores all over the world that host events for it, and if there's none nearby, then you can play Magic for free digitally on Arena. Overall, Magic is one of the most accessible games on the market, with plenty of options for buying, learning, and playing the game. But let's look back to the original question. Should you play Magic the Gathering? Yes.
Over the past 30 years, a lot about Magic has changed, but the one thing that stayed the same is just how much fun this game is to play. And while it's certainly not for everyone, I recommend giving it a try at least once. After all, if you don't, you'll suffer the consequences.